Nathan, NathanIvey.com. Mr. Ivey know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fists, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airways, we talk about it. Brand new like the 10th place, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Morning, my friends. Welcome back. Better late than never. I had some very important things I had to take care of relating to my daughter's school this morning. And that's part of the reason why I am doing the broadcast a little bit late. You've got me up until probably about an hour from now, a little bit after 10 a.m. I want to give you about 60 minutes of flows this morning, this week. Good morning to you. Today's show is brought to you in part by our friends over at Renew Community Church. They offer a Sunday morning live stream that you can access on Facebook and or YouTube at approximately 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know where I got the 7 from. You can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Cincy Renew. You can also find them on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Life is precious, baby. Hold on to it. Savor it. You got reminded this week of just how fragile life is. What are your plans for the weekend? Here's another thing I want you to think about. And I'm not trying to get into a big old conversation about it, but if you want to leave a comment or whatever, feel free to do so. But how do you show yourself that you love yourself? Like, how do you show love to yourself? Are you showing love to yourself on a daily basis, on a weekly basis? Because I know how it is, man. Like, you start getting caught up with the game, like work and children and all those kind of things, your spouse, your mom, your commitments. I mean, I know people who are hella busy doing shit every day, all day for everybody else. And I get it. I love that. But what about you? What are you going to do this weekend? Matter of fact, what are you going to do today to show love to yourself, to honor yourself? Something to think about. Again, not trying to get into a long-winded conversation about it, but I just felt like I wanted to put it on your table this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Well, guess who's back? And I'm for this, quite honestly. I'm for this. But guess who's back? That's right. That's right. They might be coming back later this month. It was a year ago this month when the cicadas took over, and I was here for all of it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it when people was all squirmish about it. I loved it. But I read this morning that there could be some late bloomers, so to speak. You know, what is it? Brood X, I believe it is. Some of them might be emerging later this month, and I'm here for it. It was fun. I love seeing people run around trying to run from insects. It was hilarious. I loved every minute of it. My son was terrified, and I was a bad dad. I admit I was a bad dad. I was like throwing cicadas on him. Like, boy, get over that. Get over that. He was terrified of them. and they were everywhere, but they're coming back. Guess who's back? Back again. I love it. It'll make the summertime good. Give you something to laugh at. You had to put the picture on there. I did. It is every 7 years, Tracy, but from what I read, some of them like hatch later. I don't know what that is. I won't make a joke about CP time or anything like that because that would be not right. But let's just say, let's just say I'm going to chase my daughter-in-law with them. Oh my God, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I love hearing the stories of people running around scared. I don't know why I got a kick out of it. I don't know why. And I remember walking through Eden Park one time, and I guarantee, listen, folks, the sound that they make was so loud that it hurt my ears. That's how loud that they were as I was walking through Eden Park one time. I had to cut off the walk. I couldn't even finish the walk through the park because they were swarming me. I'm walking down the street. People were honking their horns like they're all over your back. I just giggled to myself and brushed them off. Ain't no big deal. That ain't nothing, man. That ain't nothing. But I'm here for it. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. Good morning to you, and welcome back to the show. Many things to discuss. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about everything. If not, maybe I can point you in the right direction. Speaking of which, an off-duty officer put his knee on a 12-year-old girl's neck to break up a school fight. Now the girl is being charged. This is a fight between two 12-year-olds at their school. And the off-duty officer came on the scene. There's a video out there, and you can see him putting his knee on the neck of the girl. This happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He had his knee on her neck for more than 20 seconds in an attempt to break up a school fight. Now, do you really have to do that? We're talking about 12-year-olds. Now, 12-year-olds can get to throwing bombs now, though. You catch a stray, an undetected missile from a 12-year-old, you might see stars for a second. Some people might take you out, but a 12-year-old, and now the 12-year-old is being criminally charged with disorderly conduct. Huh? It was a fight. It was simply a fight. Disorderly conduct. I don't know. I mean, in a school building, I don't know how they do things in these schools these days, but that seems a bit extreme to me because when you put a lot of people together from different backgrounds in the same environment, they're going to have clashes. And when you add like puberty and teenagers and all that kind of stuff to the mix, it's going to happen. It's just a part of human nature. There's no way to get around it. It's going to happen. And I'm like, that seems like an overreaction to me, but I'll give you more of the details this morning. 513-873-7134. Good morning to you. Rachel writes, I show self-love by having a massage and a day of meditation once a month. That's a great idea. How do you show self-love? I know that's not the sexiest of topics. I'm not even saying it's going to be a big topic for today's show. It's just on my heart to share with you because the time we got here is so short. And I know people in my family, in my circle, work. They hardworking people. That's how we are. Hardworking people. And sometimes I think like, yo, what are you doing for yourself? You know what I'm saying? You cannot pour from an empty cup. And I know there's a lot of people that are pouring into different cups in this audience because, you're a head of family. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that pays for the bills. You're the leader of your family. You're the head of your household. You got responsibilities just like I do, just like we do. We in the same boat. But, taking that time for yourself is really making you a better version of yourself for the people that you're pouring into. That's how I look at it. Somebody needs to hear that this morning. I'm saying it just to you. Somebody needs to. It may not be you. Then pass over it. The flows will find you another day. But right now, right here, right now, somebody needs to hear that. Good morning to you. What's up, Kelly Prather? What's up, Kelly? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. That's right. Cicadas are coming back. I love it. I am very happy to see this. There's some good folks coming together. It's a minority-led organization along with some community partners, and they're revitalizing the Bond Hill Market. They spelled it wrong here in the WCPO article. They got Bong. They got Bong Hill. They got Bong Hill. Bong Hill. Not sure what Bong, B-O-N-G, Bong Hill, but they're putting together a grocery store. It'll be on the corner of California and Oakdale. And I saw some stuff on social media about it. I think that's a great space. That's a great thing. You know, people in the community responding to what's needed in the community. You know what I'm saying? People in the community responding to what's needed in the community. I think it's a beautiful thing. You know, I'm hoping to get an interview real soon with some of the folks involved to give us more details about that. Just want to put on your radar screen. Also, the Bengals are going to be in prime time this year. Did you read it? It came out on Thursday. The new NFL schedule came out, and it looks like the Bengals have 5 prime time games. And that's because they're young and exciting. They went to the Super Bowl last year. They got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and all the other Joe Mixon. You know, they're like a hot prospect right now. Look at the Bengals. Prime time, 5 games. And many of them are home games. So I guess that'll be good for local bars and people here in the city of Cincinnati. So first game of the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. I'm sure you are. It's going to be a lot of fun. Will they repeat? I don't know. Statistics say no, probably not. Usually the losing team in the Super Bowl does not do well. We'll see what happens. Cass writes, because you're a petty Virgo, Nate, LOL. I can be. I try not to be, but I can be. Rachel writes, take it off the screen. Tracy writes, you crazy, Dad. Poor kids, I know. And my son was like terrified. But, you know, as a father, you don't want your kids to be scared of nothing, right? So I'm like, boy, get over this. Go ahead and touch this cicada. He would not F with it at all. He wasn't having it. I'm like, man, it's just an insect, but I get it. I'm happy they're coming back. It's going to be a lot of fun. I loved it. I did. I loved every minute. I love when like people like Tracy and others would be telling these stories. I thought it was hilarious. I did. A little bit of natural fun. Sometimes the universe brings fun to your lap. You know what I'm saying? When it happens, you got to smile and enjoy it. It is what it is. Good morning to you. So back in March, an off-duty police officer responded to a school fight. And in doing so, he put his knee on the neck of a 12-year-old girl. Now that 12-year-old girl is being criminally charged. The father of that child is very upset because he feels like his daughter didn't have to be handled that way. And it just makes you wonder, like in a post-George Floyd world, it would make you think twice, I would think, about the way that you conduct yourself, even in situations like that, especially when you're dealing with a minor. 12-year-old. Now, 12-year-olds, they can have some physicality about them. You know what I'm saying? They can get a little bit wild. Like I said, you catch a flurry of punches from a 12-year-old, you might see stars. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on who you are. Some people are saying that it was because of her skin color, that she was treated the way she was treated. Some people are saying that the situation could have been handled differently. The officer involved has resigned from working with the schools. But it just opens up that question again about whether you should have police officers in the schools. And again, there's always, in America, on any different day, there's a multitude of conversations that are taking place. And right now in Kenosha, Wisconsin, they're having that conversation about the role of law enforcement in our schools. We had that conversation here because there were primarily students that were leading that conversation. And I haven't really heard too much about it this year. They had a young man who was, I guess he was a president of, what was it called? Young Activist Coalition, YAC. And I know he was graduating. He came on the show a couple times. He was graduating and, somebody else was going to take over. He seemed to have a really strong personality. Sometimes it takes a strong personality to get things done, to get the visibility that you're looking for. Hey, good morning, Tracy. Good to see you. And ever since then, I haven't heard anything about it. Angela writes, a little fun and games, so somebody freaks out, runs their car up on yours or worse into a pedestrian. True. That never happened. Don't want that to happen either. Tiffany writes, I just read we will probably see a few cicada, if none at all, so nothing to get excited about. Don't dampen it. It's gonna be fun. Marisha writes, good morning. Dale writes, they got the third hardest schedule this season. I mean, success, that's what they do in the NFL. You have success the season before, you get a tougher schedule. Step up or get stepped on. Simple as that. The Bengals are either going to step up or get stepped on. I think they're going to be better. Barring injury, for the moves that they made, just the maturation process, I think the Bengals are going to be better. I do. For people that are into that kind of entertainment, I'll be watching, definitely from afar. What's up, Renee? Renee, good morning to you. Good to see you. Angela writes, bong as what you smoke. Interesting mistake. Yeah, I didn't read too much into it, Angela. I just think it was just a typo. I just think it was a typo. It is an interesting mistake, but I just think it was a typo. And it's, I think it was just a typo. I don't think it was anything more than that. I thought they had editors for this kind of stuff to make sure everything was typed correctly and spelled correctly and all that kind of stuff. Sister Iris writes, I hear you, Nathan Ivey. Thank you so much, Sister Iris. Anything that happened with us, I want to be there on the front line, talking about it, promoting it, that kind of thing. That's my general interest. Kevin writes, face mob, Nathan Ivey, you were supposed to say Bizak, LOL, classic hip hop. Okay. I bought my mother and sister a zapping tennis racket so they can swat the cicadas. Found on Amazon. A zapping tennis racket? Boy, you're going to get Peter on you. Peter ain't going for that. You can zap that? That seems cruel and unusual. Tracy writes, I'm not as scared this year. Okay. Brian writes, GSW is going to finish off the Grizzlies tonight. They might. Probably. I'll probably say you're right on that. We'll have to wait and see, though. Good morning. Good morning. Blessings and positive energy to everyone. The author, Q Taylor. What's up, Q? What up? Cass writes, boo, Bengals getting stepped on. Cass is such a hater when it comes to the Bengals. How you going to be a hater and you live this close to Cincinnati? Oh, that's right. You a Steeler fan. Oh, that's right. I remember. That's right. Jenny writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Happy Friday. Drop writes, is Nathan Ivey an NFL and Bengal fan now? Not a fan, no. But in terms of just some mindless disengagement from the crazy world we live in, sure, I'll indulge a little bit, especially when the team winning. Especially when the team is winning. Like I told you, I'm not with no losing ass teams. I ain't with it. And speaking of which, I saw Colin Kaepernick. He was doing an interview with the I Am Athlete podcast, about 2 weeks ago. And he wants to play in the NFL again. He had a whole little workout with some of the guys, and apparently he's still interested in being in the NFL. Good for him. I mean, I hope it happens for him. For me, it's irrelevant at this point. What happened? Tracy writes, we will not be celebrating our wedding anniversary this year because the Bengals play the Dolphins on 9/29, second year in a row. The F, huh? Brian writes, we'll have to get some more artwork for the background, Nate. Okay, send them to me. Happy to promote. Daryl writes, they have folks murdered and drug and gun dealing. They are gone away for a long time, and I'm glad because they were bad for hip-hop and our culture. F them. Who are you talking about? What's up, Ricardo? Good to see you. Who are you talking about, bro? I don't know. You got me at a disadvantage here. They'll be better, but may not make the Super Bowl. Making the Super Bowl is a lot of luck. It's a lot of luck. Other teams are unlucky with injury. You have to be lucky with injury. I mean, that's something out of the hands. But I think in terms of the product on the field, the defense will be better. The offensive line will definitely be better. I mean, they definitely focused on it. So we'll wait and see. In terms of just some fun, have fun with it. Should be a lot of fun, win or lose. Win or lose should be a lot of fun. Good morning to you. Ray writes, good risings all. Pamela writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. Sharp writes, TGIF, Nate and the Choppers. Ray writes, I don't trip on cicadas. I play with worms as a child. Right. I saw the video. He was out of order. Right. Do you really need to put your knee on the neck of a 12-year-old to bake up a fight? I just don't believe that. I just don't believe it. I don't believe you really have to put your knee on the neck of a child. I don't get it. A girl, and here you are, grown up, super trained up police officer. I don't know. I don't know what the policy is like in these schools. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have, they in no way can a school come out and say, yeah, go ahead and fight. They can't do that. And they shouldn't do that. Okay, that would be the wrong thing to do. But do you have to overly react because somebody is doing something silly? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's just me. I think it's just going too far. And then when you got your knee on the neck of somebody, anything can happen. Oops, my bad. I'm sorry. Anything can happen. Dale writes, I'm talking about Young Thug and Gunna. They got RICO charges, Nate. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, they got Gunna too. Okay. Huh. I saw that. Well, they got arrested. Is this like feds? Then they got hit with the feds. Well, what I would say about that is the biggest thing about that, I mean, since you brought it up, if you really want to talk about it, like one of the biggest issues as it relates to like what happened with Young Thug and Gunna, and I like Gunna more than Young Thug, although, I'm here for this generation of music. But one of the biggest questions that we need to talk about as it relates to these kind of indictments is the history of prosecutors using rap lyrics in court. This happened over and over again. People have been convicted because what the prosecutors would do, like if you're a rapper, whatever, they'll go get your lyrics of you talking Big Willie style about your criminal enterprise in your lyrics. And then they will offer this of evidence, like in some of these criminal cases. And people are like, wait a minute, this is just art. You know what I'm saying? How you going to take, in a lot of cases, this is just like fantasy. Like, for instance, if you go get like the producer or the director of some of these mafia movies, they would never bring that into court because that's purely fantasy. Now, I know what some of you folks are going to say. And you're right in saying it. I know what you're thinking. I already know. You're thinking, well, Nate, a lot of these rappers, they claim they keeping it real on lyrics. You're right about that. You're right about that. Young Thug was arrested back on the 9th. So what's today? The 13th. So less than a week ago on a 56-count gang indictment. And it looks like, from what I'm reading, RICO is Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. So essentially what that means is if you are a part of a vast criminal enterprise, right, and you at the head of it, you're responsible for anything that anybody in the criminal enterprise does. Y'all all in this together. So even if you didn't commit this crime, y'all all are part of the same gang. Boom, we gonna get all of y'all. And RICO laws are what busted up, the Italian mafia, La Cosa Nostra, right? Right. So now they're still using these to deal with modern day gangs. Okay, I get it. But the problem is so Young Thug has a label called YSL, and prosecutors are claiming that it's a criminal street gang. And I'm not super well versed in Young Thug. I just told you I don't really listen to him like that. A little bit more with Gunna. He got a couple tracks I like. And so what's happening is part of the case is the rap lyrics. They bring the videos, they bring this to the grand jury. Like, look at the defendant. Here he is rapping about what he just did. They rapping about murdering people and moving this and moving that. And again, some people say it's out of bounds, that you should not be allowed to use somebody's rap lyrics. But I think it depends on what the crime is and what they're rapping about. And my thing about this is, what kind of dumb you know what is committing crimes and then rapping about it anyway? You know, it could be that some of these rappers don't have anything else to talk about than, you know, what their experiences is. And again, if you get them on an interview, they'll all say the same thing. I rap about real life. I rap about what I see. I rap about what I see, right? So it becomes a catch-22. You know, saying America loves street narratives. We love street narratives. Love it, love it, love it. We love The Wire. Ain't nothing but some street narratives. We love Oz. We love these narratives about the gangsters and what gangsters do, but we don't want to get caught up with it. Okay. And you're a rapper and you got these experiences. What else you gonna rap about? You gonna rap about the dumb shit you did or the criminal shit you got away with and this, that, and the other. Oh, by the way, it opens up the door because the feds are listening and they building a case, track by track, album by album. It just makes you wonder, if you're so gosh darn smart, then why are you rapping about crimes? Like, smart criminals don't rap about the crimes they committed, right? You know, where you see that at, other than in rap music? But I don't know. You tell me. Joe writes 5 prime time. Who they? Yeah, they got 5 prime time. You wrong. Fuck the pigs. You're wrong about it, Ronald. But that's your opinion. Angela writes, it's local, not federal. Self-incrimination. Mm-hmm. Daryl writes, nah, Nate, they had people murder and was running a drug enterprise and dealing guns. As I'm reading about it, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what the allegations are. And they're allegations at this point. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you got this legitimate career, this history, but, you know, in the rap game, but then you still doing that. But, you know, you are who you are. That's what Jay-Z said. No matter where you go, you are who you are, homie. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Tony writes, morning, choppers. It's Friday and your boy's birthday is on Sunday the 15th. When I'm out with my brother this weekend, I will definitely give a toast to my brother Glenn. Absolutely. I don't know any of these young and little baby rappers. Tracy writes, Snowfall, Correctamundo. Power, Correctamundo. Scarface, right. America loves that shit. America has always loved Godfather, Casino, you name it. James Cagney. I'm at the top of the world, Mom. I mean, America loves these criminal narratives. We love that street talk. You know what I'm saying? People that, especially people that's not associated with it, it becomes even more like magical. And these hip hop artists are no different. You know what I'm saying? They no different. They selling the malt liquor of narratives with some dope beats, and it works. But happy birthday to you, brother. In advance, Tony. Happy birthday. He said his birthday is on Sunday. Good morning to you. Janice writes, it kind of makes you wonder if they even have an imagination. I don't know. I would say, yeah. I mean, I think you can be talented as a rapper and still have 1 foot or 2 feet still in the streets. And I mean, you saw what they did with Meek Mill. They tried to run Meek Mill straight through the system over and over again. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like he just had a judge, it happened to be a black female, who just had a grudge against him for whatever reason, right? So if you out here doing crimes and rapping about it and showing off your wealth and, you know, showing off the criminal things you doing, it's only a matter of time before they catch up with you. They love to lock your ass up. You know what I'm saying? That'll be a big feather. You put Young Thug in jail. Oh my God, that's a big feather in your cap. You know what I'm saying? You got these folks like Yak Gotti. Yeah, Yo Gotti, Yak Gotti. John Gotti was a murderous gangster. He had plenty of people murdered. Mostly other gangsters, so that's what gangsters do, but that's just our culture, man. It's crazy. It is what it is. Tiffany writes, I like a question that CTG proposed. Will the record label stick behind their artists since they are making money off the music that promote a criminal activity? Will the record label stick by the artist? I mean, probably to the point in which they get indicted and not indicted, but like convicted. Ain't no record label gonna stand by you. Now, if they own your music and you get locked up and you want to put out more music and they think it's gonna be profitable, sure, they'll do it. Send you a little something for your commissary, send the money where else you want the money to go. I'm sure they'll do that. Because record companies are not in the morality business, they're in the record selling business. They're trying to get plays, they're trying to get downloads. They're not in the business of it's not a church. That's not what they do. So that's what I would think, Tiffany. Yeah, they'll stand by you publicly in as much as they can. When you get convicted, that's a wrap. But if your albums, if they got a deal still in place and they can put out more albums, they think you got dope tracks, they'll put that shit out. You know it. Real quick. Janice writes, I don't think those writers were actually living that same life that they wrote about. Well, how do they know about it then? If they weren't living it, they must have been close to it. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like, I don't know. I was going to make this racial argument, but I don't really think it has the right context to make it right now. So Sean writes, good morning, King Nate and the Mighty Choppers. Good morning to you. Rachel writes, I don't watch none of them gangster movies and shows. Never seen Scarface, Godfather, Snowfall, or the like. I saw American Gangster, though. Hashtag Denzel Washington. Well, then you're in the same boat, Rachel. Quit acting like you different. American Gangster is a gangster film. It's all the same. And you probably loved it because Denzel was dope. Remember that scene when he killed old boy? Shot him straight in the head in front of everybody and just went back to business. It's crazy shit. But again, America loves those narratives. You know, we love it. We got a love-hate relationship with crime. Tracy writes, my son turns 21 on Monday. Time flies. 21? 21? Damn, he was just 17. Remember, he's 17 today. Remember that? 21? Oh, my God. So he's 21 now. Y'all letting him drink in the house? I don't know. I don't know. I guess my daughter, her first drink, I figured she would have it with us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, have it at home. You know what I'm saying? Right here with us. 21? Oh, that's a beautiful age. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I guess I won't be watching that Denzel movie. It's not bad. It's not a bad Denzel movie at all. Speaking of not bad movies, I want to give you a non-spoiler review of that Doctor Strange movie. You know, I've been hip to Marvel since 1998 with the first Blade. That was the first ever Marvel movie that was put out. It was Blade. People forget that. And it wasn't attached to what they're doing right now with the so-called MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. And they call it MCU because they want a distinction between what they're doing in terms of the cinematic universe, like in the movies, and what's in the Marvel comics. My daughter and I went to go see it, and I feel like I've told you this already, but I'll say it again if you haven't seen it. If you're into Marvel, it's a must-see. You know, you got to keep going with it because this is what you're into. And it's worth your time. It's worth your time. I would give it a solid I would give it a solid 8.5. I stand firm on that. I said a solid 8.5. Now again, we're talking about Marvel, so it ain't like real life shit. But if you've been following it and you're into it and you like the Doctor Strange character, you'll like it. It was a bit more, there was a body count to it. You know, people were dropping left and right. But it's interesting and it sets up what they're going to do next, which includes bringing back Blade. He's been recast now with Mahershala Ali. And I think it's going to be interesting. But if you're like on the fence about whether you want to see it or not, I mean, you know, anything you can wait for anything to be at home. You ain't got to go to the theater. But I give it a solid 8.5. Solid 8.5. I'm talking about the latest Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. It starts with a bang. It starts with a bang and it ends with a bang. It starts fast and you're in it quickly. And it ends the cutscenes. One of the cutscenes, like the second, there's two post-credit scenes. Let me tell you this. There's two post-credit scenes. The first one is worth your time. The second one, you can get up and leave. You ain't got to stay for that. It's not even really worth your time. You know, if you miss the second post-credit scene, you ain't missing nothing. But the first one, you definitely want to see because it sets up whatever they're going to do next. And it was quite interesting. It was entertaining. I give it a solid 8.5. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good, glorious Friday, Nathan. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. John.
I will agree with you. It was definitely worth seeing. I would give it probably somewhere between a B+ and an A-. It was a good flick. Are you familiar with Sam Raimi movies before that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It felt like a Sam Raimi movie to me. That's what made it really cool. It was the first one that's really been in the Marvel Universe because Sam Raimi directed other comic book movies. He directed Spider-Man back in the day. But this was the real one that he actually showed his teeth. And I liked it a lot. I really liked it. That's what I'm calling about. It's about the movie. Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. You know,
same here. And it was long. It was like 2 hours long, which is crazy. And my attention was on the edge the entire time, which is weird for me because I got a problem with that. But it was a really good flick. I really enjoyed it. Cooper's working at the movie theater now, and he saw it, and he really liked it. So that says it all to me because he's into it more than I am. He does all the comic book stuff too.
Oh yeah. Does he watch like the television shows like Loki and Scarlet Witch and Vision, all that kind of stuff?
We just finished Moon Knight. That was great. Did you see Moon Knight?
I haven't. I've started it, but I haven't finished it. I've watched like the first
episode.
It
is great. It's awesome. I really enjoyed it. Now there's parts of it that are really drawn out, and I wasn't familiar with the character before the TV show. Cooper was familiar. He's been reading the comic book, but the TV show was outstanding. Angie even liked it. I mean, we watched it together as a family. It was good. And all 8 episodes. I mean, it's worth your while if you got Disney Plus.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, John. Thanks for anything else, brother?
Nope. Have a good morning.
All right. Take it easy, John. That's John, aka the White Wolf, checking in. You said B+, A-. That's about what I'm saying. Like, I would give it an 8.5 on a 10-point scale. So only about a 1.5 away from a 10. Yeah, it's interesting. And it's cool what they're doing with these television shows on Disney Plus. And they've got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's interesting. They've got that WandaVision, which I didn't get into much. My daughter's watched all of them. She's watched all of them. She knows everything that's going on. They even has some animated what if, and it all ties into this Doctor Strange and setting up the next big nemesis, which is going to be Kang the Conqueror. So, again, we just have some mindless disengagement time. That's all it is. We ain't splitting the atom. Just something to do, maybe some family stuff. But I wanted to say that to you in a non-spoiler way. It's worth your time if you're into the Marvel shit. If you ain't into that, it probably ain't worth your time. You'll be like, man, this is a waste of time. Why am I here? But I knew it was good because I didn't fall asleep in it. I didn't fall asleep. Like if I fall asleep, that means the movie didn't keep my attention. But it hits the ground running. You getting action and all the big stage, special effects and all that kind of stuff. You're getting what you're looking for. You're getting what you're looking for. That's all I can say. What else is going on? I'm waiting on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That'll be out in November. Yes. You should probably start seeing the trailers for that in June. In June, you'll probably start seeing the trailers for Wakanda Forever. So looking forward to that. Like, what are they going to do? Who's going to be T'Challa? Is T'Challa dead? Is he on a mission somewhere? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Tiftif writes, did you like Moon Knight? I didn't. Moon Knight is something you got to check out. You got to check it out. My daughter watched it. She said great things about it. I watched probably the first 15 minutes, and I haven't been able to tap back in. I watched The Falcon and Winter Soldier, all of those episodes. I thought it was good. I couldn't get into WandaVision, even though I just couldn't get into it. So what I did is they got these spoiler channels on YouTube where they'll give you all the highlights. I watch that. And so I can catch up on an episode without watching the whole damn episode, because you only got so much time. And that's just me. That's just me. Good morning to you. Yeah, Shang-Chi was good. Shang-Chi was good. I would give Shang-Chi like an 8.5. It's right around the same as Doctor Strange for me. It's good. It's good. It's worth your time. I don't even know who Doctor Strange is. That means that you are a sane, rational adult. That's what that means, Tracy. That's what it means. Oh, man. That means good things about you. I didn't like WandaVision that much. I didn't either. I got what they're trying to do, this whole new reality. But if you watch WandaVision, it sets up this latest Doctor Strange. I will tell you that. It sets it up completely. Like, you have a better understanding of what's going on. I watched them out with my son. We have a standing Wednesday night date night when the shows are running. Oh, that's special. That's special. Yeah, my kids, they spoiled and blessed. They got mother and father in the house together. So they got little routines they do with her. And then they got routines they do with me. And then we got little routines we all do together. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, we was talking about the Bengals earlier. We watched all those Bengal games together. You know what I'm saying? They jumping on the bed and having a good time. My son's into it. My daughter's into it. The wifey's into it. I'm into it. So it was a lot of fun that way. So hopefully they can give us something new. I'm going to have to Google Doctor Strange now. Is that right? You really don't know, huh? Cool. Great things. Great things. Halo on Paramount, Picard on the new Star Treks. Now, I'm hip to all of that. You know what I'm saying? I still game from time to time. I'll be on Warzone every once in a while. It spurts. I might be on for a day or two, primarily because my sister's on there. My brothers are on there. I don't get a chance to see them, even though we're in the same city. So I communicate with them on there. We can get on there, put the headsets on. I can catch up with them. We can bang it out on Rebirth Island or whatever the case we may be. I used to always mess with Glenn because I know Glenn was a gamer too. And whenever I got a Warzone victory, I would send him a link, like, check out these victories. Yo, where you at? Just having some fun with it. But there was a time when I thought about gaming as a job. I was that into it, but those days are over. Roy writes, Halo is a TV series on Paramount. It is, but it started as a video game on Xbox. You go back to the very, very first Xbox, the very first game that they had, like the big game they had, was Halo. It's been out for, I don't know, 20 years. 15 years, however long it's been out. And then they adapted it into a video game. I think they got like Halo 6 or 7 out right now. So that's what it is. Good morning to you. Doctor Strange is handsome. Oh boy, we didn't start something. What did I start? I don't know. I didn't mean to. It is what it is. It is what it is. Good morning to you. I've been reading that Brittany Griner's detention has been extended for one more month. Detained in Russia. If I believe correctly, they found some substances in her possession that they think was like drugs or something like that. And now the United States government has got involved, and they're saying that she has been unlawfully detained. So we'll see what happens with Brittany Griner. I don't know, for folks that want to keep up with that kind of stuff. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. And 2 weeks ago, he announced that he was trying to buy Twitter. Now, he's been on the board of Twitter for many years. He's been a minority stakeholder in Twitter for many, many years, but he wants to be the majority stake owner. And so he offered, 40 plus billion bucks to buy Twitter. Within the last week, it came out that he said that if he buys Twitter, that he will reverse the ban that Twitter put on Trump. You've been on Twitter lately. You haven't seen Donald Trump because he's been lifetime banned because of inciting violence, most notably the violence that happened on January 6th of last year. And so there's this big debate right now as to whether it be a good thing or a bad thing if Elon Musk takes over Twitter. Well, within the last 24 hours, it's been revealed that his Twitter deal has been put on hold. His plans to buy Twitter have been put on hold, even though he still, has a desire to purchase Twitter. So I have to wait and see. He said he's still committed to the acquisition. And I don't like the idea of him taking over Twitter if he's going to bring Trump back, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous because Trump is the king of lies. Trump is the king of lies. And Trump doesn't care about people getting hurt with his lies. He only cares about power and his own ego, right? And I hate to say this, but there are a lot of people that believed every single word that came out of Trump's mouth. And I feel like if you are the founder or the creators of a social media platform and you realize that somebody is using your platform in a dangerous way, then a way that'd be harmful for our community, then they should not be allowed to use the platform. It's the same logic that I have about guns. You know what I'm saying? If you show me somebody that has a history of inciting violence or doing violent things, I don't think they should be having access to guns. And Trump is irresponsible, he's reckless, and he's dangerous. And does he still have influence? Obviously. But him not being on these social media platforms, most notably Twitter, it helps to contain his influence a bit. Like if people want to go to his website or find him wherever he is and whatever he's doing, great. But it doesn't mean that Twitter or Facebook has to be involved with it. Currently, he still has a ban on on Facebook as well. He's got a lifetime ban on Twitter, and he's got a temporary ban on Facebook for great reasons, because Trump is too big to be allowed to not be checked. He just can't be trusted. He's irresponsible with the power and the influence that he has. He's proven that. January 6th. Stop the lies. He's proven it. And because of that, sometimes if you're a Twitter or Facebook, you might have to do things that you didn't anticipate doing. And I had no problem with it. Twitter is a much better place without Donald Trump on it. It's a much better place. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you knew somebody was irresponsible with a firearm, would you put a firearm in their hand? No. Well, Donald Trump is irresponsible with social media. So we can't put social media in his hands. So when I heard that Elon Musk was like, yeah, we're going to reverse the Trump ban, I was thinking this ain't a good idea. Ronald writes, I still can't believe we let that dude in the White House. I can believe it. Number one, he was going up against Hillary Clinton, and she was a bad candidate. If the Democrats would have got behind Bernie Sanders, I think that Bernie would have had a much better shot of beating Donald Trump. For two reasons. Number one, he didn't have the history that Hillary Clinton had, and he was a man, because there was some sexism involved. Like, I know people that was like, I ain't voting for no woman. Now, I remember arguing with people. Like, you sound like an idiot. And then we won't even talk about black people, because black people are the easiest people to divide in America. It's so easy to divide us. They're doing that shit right now with that Black Lives Matter stuff. I read there's some big report about how Black Lives Matter, they bought a $6 million mansion, but it's really their headquarters. And then Patrice Cullors held a birthday party for her son there. And then they held a fundraiser for Joe Biden there. And this was all over the news about a week ago. And I was thinking, divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. That's all they got to do, is convince us that something's a little bit off. And then some black people will turn their backs completely. It works every single time, man. I bet you there's a playbook out there, how to deal with the black community. And all they got to do is go to page 10. Let's go to page 10 and just run through the playbook every single time. I don't care if they had a birthday party at no damn mansion, the Black Lives Matter headquarters. Who cares? And well, that has nothing to do with their mission overall and what they were trying to do. Stay focused. But so divide and conquer was definitely in place with Trump. So I do believe it. Looking back, I believe it completely. Yes. And then again, the Trumpsters, they use some very sophisticated methods. They employed Facebook. They employed a whole new data matrix, in their plans to get him elected, and it worked like a charm. It is what it is. Ronald writes, Bernie definitely would have won. I don't know if he definitely would have won, but I think he would have been a better candidate than Hillary Clinton, in my opinion. But let's go to the phones. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. It's Friday. I ain't got no job. Oh, that's right. I'm retired. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing okay. How you doing?
Well, that's good. It's good to hear you. I thought you had no show today. I started getting ready, and I look up notification 6:00 out here. You back on? Is this a new time or something, or something happened?
No. I had some things I had to take care of this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, sir, I'm sitting here listening to your little rant about the 45th president of the United States, the first gangster president. Now, again, Mr. Ivey, the Democrat Party, the reason they're carrying on like this is because that 75 million that voted for the Republican candidate, Donald Trump, back in 2020, the most votes ever by a sitting incumbent president, are still out here in these streets, pissed off at this Biden economy, all this inflation, about all these people coming across the southern border that for some reason only Fox News and foreign news outlets are covering the story. For some reason, our media fails to put a spotlight on what's going on at the border. You got crates of baby formula at all these places on the southern border, waiting for these unaccompanied children and all these migrants coming across. You got mamas in the hood and people across this country who need baby formula for their babies and they can't find it, Nate. It's stuff like that is causing the Democrat Party to lose their mind, because there's a new term out now that was coined by our president, Joe Biden. It's called Ultra MAGA. Have you heard that, Nate?
I've heard you use it.
Ultra MAGA.
I've heard you use it.
No, you never heard me use it. Joe Biden
I've heard
spoke
you
about
use
it
it
last
several
week.
times. You brought up several times already.
Okay, well, I didn't put it in the same context as the president did after the primaries in Ohio. You remember when Trump went 55-0 in the the 3 states that had primaries up to that point, and Joe Biden and the Democrats were so worried that 75 million are standing 10 toes tall and they ready to show up and send a message to the desperate Democrats. Joe Biden and now all the other Democrats are starting to use the term Ultra MAGA because they know Trump and the 75 million people that voted for him are still here and they're not going anywhere, Nate. So the Democrats, they trying to use this whole thing called the Disinformation Governance Board that was started by the Department of Homeland Security. Are you aware of that, Nate?
No, I'm not.
Well, that's been out for a while now. They said it was a carryover from something that the Trump administration had started, but the Democrats are using it. And again, Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, announced at a congressional hearing 2 weeks ago of this new thing called the Disinformation Governance Board. And the lady that's in charge is a freaking maniac. She's been putting out disinformation all over Twitter. And again, Twitter is a place where lazy journalists go because they don't want to report on the real news. They don't want to get out there and get the real story like what's going on at the border. So again, Nate, Donald Trump ain't going nowhere. The 75 million that voted for him. And don't forget, Donald Trump has his own form of Twitter called Truth Social.
I hear it's not going
so well. Are you a member
well.
of Truth? Well, how do you know? Have you visited the site?
No, I've just read some reports about it. It said it's not going so well.
Oh,
Are you on Truth
okay.
Social?
I haven't. No, I haven't signed up for it because I like Twitter. I told you I like Twitter, and I miss Glenn. I miss Mr. Petty because I could always count on him responding. But I don't know.
You're not
Nate.
even on it. And Trump is your dude.
Again, like you know what I do on Twitter, Nate. You know how I roll. Now you may think I'm a what do you call me, a Trump supporter? I'm not.
You voted for him
I'm
twice.
a Republican. Yeah, because he was the candidate, Nate.
And you made excuses for him the whole time he was in office.
If it was Chris Christie, I would have voted for him.
Right, but you also made excuses for Trump all through the 4 years he was in office. So yeah, you're a Trump supporter. Just earn it. You earned it.
No, but Nate. Okay, well you could label me however you want, but I knew Trump before he ran for president. Okay,
and yet you still voted for him twice, sir. And you made excuses for him the whole time he was in office.
Nate, again, we don't want to go back to the Trump administration because the American people who lived under Trump and his economy, especially the last 2 years, they have a stark difference now, Nate. Do you know how much gas is out here, bro?
Yeah.
For unleaded regular, not the premium that I put in my car. Unleaded regular, Nate, is at $5.35, Nate.
It's crazy.
But when Trump was there, it was $2-something.
So are you trying to say this is because of Trump and Biden? Like, what did Trump do to keep gas prices down? And what is Joe Biden doing that's making gas prices go up?
Now, I just told you, first of all, his policies, Nate, he's only been in the office for 15 months. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's been in for 4 years. He's done this destruction in 2 months. And I can just name two things right off the top.
Why? So you're telling me the reason why gas prices are so high is directly because of Joe Biden. Tell me how.
I would say 70% is because of Joe Biden's policies, but the other 30% is because of what's happening in Ukraine over the last 2 months, 3 months.
Okay.
Because of the gas prices are worldwide. But prior to that, prior to the 2 months that the Ukraine war has been going on, all that's on Joe Biden, Nate. That's all on Joe Biden. Because
what did Joe Biden do, or what is he not doing that's leading to gas prices being so high?
Okay, the one thing he did was when he signed that $1.3 trillion COVID relief package, that all the economists are saying infusing that 1.3 trillion into the economy, into different states, and how they are using that money, because they're using that money for other things besides COVID, Nate. Joe Biden just the other day was telling cities and states to use COVID money to fund the police because of the high crime. So because of that money went into the system, it causes the inflation. Plus you had the supply line based on what Biden did, his policies. Remember what he did, shutting down the gas pipeline coming from Canada. You remember what he did at the border with his policies of letting all these people come in. I could go on and on, Nate, but it's so, like I told you, Nate.
You still haven't explained why, in my opinion, but okay.
I don't have to, Nate.
You do have to.
Like Donald.
You do have to, because you
remember what Trump said?
If you're going to make what Trump said, that 70% of the blame for the high gas prices on Joe Biden, then you should be prepared to back it up with some facts.
I don't. All you got to do is go to the gas pump, Nate, and you got this president running around talking about the Putin price hike.
But that doesn't explain,
the American people are stupid, Nate.
You think the American people are stupid. I'm asking you for clarification,
no, I'm not.
And I can tell
I'm telling you, the American people are very smart.
Just say, Nate, I don't know. I don't know, Nate.
Nate, I do know.
Okay, what do you tell us?
If I try to explain it like I just did, you're gonna come back to me again and say it ain't true, or you can't prove it.
Let's give it a try and see what happens. Let's give it a try. See what happens.
I just told you. Okay. He shut down the XL pipeline, which was sending gas from Canada to the United States and back and forth. But now you got to use trucks to drive that fuel. And look how much fuel costs because of Joe Biden's policies, Nate. This is what I'm talking about. What he did at the border by stopping the construction of a border wall that was almost complete. You got millions of dollars of material just sitting there because his policy.
And that's why gas prices are so high.
Did,
so you're telling me part of the reason why gas prices are so high is because Joe Biden stopped building a wall on the southern border.
No, I said the policies overall, Nate. If things got to go from the store to the farm to the market, everything is, you got to use fuel, Nate. The Biden administration is encouraging a war in Ukraine when they could end it. It could be ended. And you got the gas prices the way they are. And Joe Biden is telling you, he's telling you it's Putin's fault.
How is the
but
Biden
he's not doing anything.
encouraging
He's not
war?
doing anything. He's not doing anything to stop Putin.
Sir, none of those answers.
He's
sir,
sending more money,
sir?
Nate. He's sending $40 billion to Ukraine.
Sir,
okay, in 2 months, Nate.
Can I be honest with you about something, sir?
In 2 months, see, Nate, you don't want the truth because you can't handle the truth.
Yeah, I can't handle the truth. Can I be honest with you about something, sir?
Right.
I'm sure that within your own head that you've got all these reasons why Joe Biden is to blame for the high gas prices, but you have not successfully made that argument this morning. You have not successfully
You blame
made
Trump
your point.
for everything. I don't need to. Nate, I keep telling you,
that's
sir.
Exactly what you need to do, sir, and you have failed to do so.
Nate, it don't matter what I say. Nate, you're talking to your audience. I'm talking to you, and your audience is hearing me and our exchange, right?
Yeah, they are.
So people are listening to me, and they're hearing me talk about how high the gas is and how much it costs to buy baby formula if you can find it, and how much it costs to buy a small order of fries at McDonald's. Okay, people are listening to me, and they're like, "Well, I can't argue with that. Shit is high. Shit, Joe Biden ain't even been in that long. So if it's like this after a year and 4 months, what is it going to be like 2 years from now, Nate? How much? I mean, are they doing anything to stop this?
Point?
No, they're not. All Joe Biden's doing is appointing black people to positions and talking about, oh, look what we doing.
Yeah, something that Trump never did and never would do because he had an issue with black people. But the other thing that you made another point. You said that Biden administration is encouraging war. How is the Biden administration encouraging a war that they didn't start? I don't understand that.
Because Joe Biden, before Putin even crossed the border and started shelling Ukraine, Joe Biden was telling everybody, sanctions, Putin better not do this, he better not do that, we're going to do this. Oh, well, the sanctions wasn't meant to stop him. Then what the hell was the sanctions for? Joe Biden is a disgrace, Nate, and you know it. And the people are comparing the two presidents because it hasn't been that long.
Listen,
Joe Biden is a mess, and it's not looking good for him and his Democrat Party.
Sir,
that's all I'm saying, Nate.
There might be a lot of people that have that opinion about Joe Biden, and they are welcome to it. You should have your opinion. But all I'm telling you is this morning on this call, you have not made a whole lot of sense, sir. You know, the things you've said just haven't added up. You're talking to smart, intelligent black people. And you just can't call in and make a bold statement. And then when I ask you to back it up,
yes, I can.
You do yabba dabba do,
yes,
you tap dancing.
I mean, you can,
but I'm gonna call you out on it, bro. So that's
because guess what we're talking about, Nate? We're talking about the economy. And you remember what Trump said to black folks. You remember what he said. What do you have to lose? And now
a lot.
Black people can look back just a year and a half ago of what it was like. And they look now when they go fill up their gas this weekend. You know they ain't gonna be thinking about Trump
black
and
people.
tweets.
And you
no,
think
they're
black
gonna think
people
about
are dumb,
Joe
sir.
Biden ass, and he don't know what the hell he's doing.
You think that black people are dumb, Drop, but black people are smart enough to realize that the United States president has a lot of influence, a lot of control. But these gas prices might be out of there might be factors that are beyond the president's control. Because think about it.
Then how
What
you explain it, Nate? Explain it.
What
Explain it.
first-term president would ever want gas prices to be this high years before an election, right before a midterm election? It's not in their favor.
Okay.
So I think just logically,
Nate,
clearly, let's look at it from a logical standpoint. If
no,
Joe
because you
Biden
don't
could
listen
pull
to
a few
everything.
strings and press a few buttons and draw the curtain back and make gas prices go down, then he would do that because it's in his own best interest. So clearly there's some other factors at play here. Doesn't that make sense?
Nate, Joe Biden said that he was releasing oil from the strategic reserves for this country. He's done it twice.
Right.
He's done it twice.
And why did he do that, sir?
He said he did it to lower the gas price.
Exactly. Because it's not in any
but
first term. Let me get it out, sir.
Hold on, bro.
Let me get it out, sir.
You just said he ain't got no power.
It's not.
You said he can't do nothing.
It's not within the best interest of any first-term president to have gas prices this high right before the midterm and 2 years before your re-election bid. So clearly, any president, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, if they could press a few buttons and turn this and turn that and do this to make gas prices go down, they would do it because politically it's within their own party's best interest and it's within their own best interest. So I think just logically,
Nate,
as I said again, brother, logically, there are other factors at play here. You ain't even mentioned COVID and how that impacts gas prices. You ain't even mentioned that. Logically, there are some other factors. There are some other factors at play here, and black people are smart enough to know that. We ain't dumb, bro.
Wait. Our president said the high gas prices is because of Putin. Didn't he say that, Nate?
I don't remember. Did he? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you don't remember? Okay.
I don't remember if he said it or not. I don't recall.
Okay. Do you remember this from our transportation secretary, the beloved Mayor Pete Buttigieg? When he was asked about the high gas prices and how American consumers should deal with it, this fool said, go buy an electric car, Nate, because that's their goal. Barack Obama said it back in 2008. He said, yes, our goal is to make gas prices high, but do it gradually. We don't want to hurt the American people because we need people to get off of fossil fuel and start driving electric. You know that's the truth, Nate. You know the Democrats want,
but that does make sense.
They want Nate. They want people to drive electric. They want to push the climate bullshit, the green energy jobs. This is what they want. Joe Biden knows good and damn well that Nate, the man shut down a freaking fuel pipeline, and now that oil has to be transported via truck.
I'm wondering if the war,
and that costs money, Nate.
Do you think that the war in the Ukraine has had any impact on gas prices?
Of course it is, because it's a worldwide commodity.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you realize
it's a worldwide commodity. The Democrats are full of it, and you know it. They shut down oil production, and now they want to act like they had nothing to do with the oil production in America now. See, Nate, again, sir.
Sir, I think
I'm not on here, Nate. I'm not on here
very, very hard
to give nobody a freaking class, and this is what you try to do.
To misinform
You try to
people.
make me a damn official. I'm not an official spokesman, so stop asking me.
I know you're not an official
dumbass
spokesman.
questions.
I know that very
that you know. That I know the answers to. Because every time I tell you the answer,
you might know the
try
answer,
to spin it.
Sir.
You say that's
fine.
dumb. That's crazy. You think people stupid. No, Nate.
You think people are dumb.
We're talking about the current president that's only been in office for 15 months, Nate. Okay. The damage that has been inflicted on our economy, Nate, it's there. People see it. Mm-hmm. Nate, are you serious? Are you telling me when people can't buy baby formula for their babies, they don't have the gas to drive around town to find the baby formula because gas is $5 a gallon? Mm-hmm. Nate, are you telling me they're gonna blame this on Trump? No, they're gonna blame it on Joe Biden, because it's kind of ironic, Nate. Before I go, it's kind of ironic that now they give the press secretary job to a black woman when they should have gave it to her 15 months ago when Joe Biden first came into office. But instead, they used that redhead mouthpiece from the Obama administration, and now she's just lying left and right. She's telling people to go protest
redhead
in front of
mouthpiece.
Supreme Court Justices' homes, Nate.
Who's the redhead?
That's a violation
mouthpiece?
of the law.
Who you
That's a
talking
violation of the law, Nate. I'm talking about Jen Psaki.
Oh, okay. All right, brother.
She's
I appreciate you,
leaving
man.
today.
I got to make a move.
Today is her last day. Today is her last
Yeah,
day.
I know.
So let's
The
say
sister's coming
farewell
in now.
to Jen Psaki.
First ever black woman
She's
ever
going
be
to MSN.
the White House
They
press
all
secretary.
running to MSNBC. They all going to MSNBC. You know that, right?
It's actually Jen
Simone
Psaki.
Sanders just got her show on Saturday. So
All
now
right, Drop.
Jen
I got to
Psaki
make a
gonna
move,
have
bro.
her show.
I appreciate you.
All right, peace out.
Yeah, take it easy. That's Drop talking nonsense. He thinks people are dumb. We are not dumb, Drop. I asked you straight up to give me your straight up answers, and you yabba dabba dooed it because you don't know what you're talking about. You just running at, you're trying to run propaganda, but it's just not going to work here. But okay, do you, bro? You're right. You know, are people going to look at it politically? You're absolutely right. Yes, people are going to be thinking, damn, gas is high. You know, the economy is whatever it is. They're definitely going to take it out politically. But does that mean that Joe Biden is to blame for it? I mean, if he is, then send me a link, show me the facts. And you didn't say anything that I thought made any point whatsoever. But okay, I'm with the business. Thank you for the call. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. This is Donita. My head hurts. I have a serious headache because of the lack of intelligent conversation that I just listened to. It is astounding to me that someone who says they understand politics, civics, and government would even form their lips to say that Joe Biden, the president of the United States of America, is responsible for gas prices. No one in their right mind, my sixth grader, who every day they read about current events in sixth grade social studies, Nate, he understands that the president doesn't set gas prices. He's 12. How come he knows that and Drop, who is retired United States military, doesn't understand that the president of the United States does not regulate gas prices? Does that make any sense to you, Nate?
None whatsoever.
I got Lil Junior. Lil Junior, what, the first grade, Nate?
Yep, first grade.
First grade. I bet you he's learned some of the responsibilities of the president. And even in the first grade, I bet you he's learned that. And he probably can tell you. In the list that he learned, gas prices ain't on it. It's just ridiculous. And if we want to look at things that are it's called cause and effect, he said, look at how the economy was a year and a half ago, right? So let's look at the economy a year and a half ago. Let's look at gas prices a year and a half ago. We were all in our homes, not driving anywhere. That's why gas was low. There was not a high demand for gas. When I look back at our finances, and I'm sure everybody who's listening to this show can look back and see how much money we saved from not going to work, not having to spend so much money buying lunch every day, going to work. Come on, I mean, it's simple logic. But the problem is the Republicans do think that America is stupid. They think that they can say gas prices are high now. It's all Joe Biden's fault. And when you have these people who walk around missing teeth and don't wear shoes, that's what they believe because that's what they heard on Fox News. Those are the type of people who are those 75 million who voted for Trump. He told them, I love the unintelligent. Trump didn't lie. Guess who got him elected? The unintelligent. Those who cannot reason for themselves.
Mm-hmm. You said, I love the uneducated.
And it's plain to see. It is plain to see. The easiest way to get someone to vote for you is to make you think they're not for you, which is what the Trump administration did. He made these people feel like that they were neglected, that they were not looked out for, and that somehow, well, not somehow, because we all do know they are going to become the minority. That's what he told them. You guys are going to become the minority. We got to fight and take our country back. That's what it was about. And I will give Drop the benefit of the doubt. Drop is not a Trump supporter, Nate. We got to quit saying that, okay? And here's my reason why. Drop is not a Trump supporter. What Drop has done is what many Republicans have done. They have put party over country. They could care less about this country. It's all about the Republican Party. So I'm going to give Drop the benefit of the doubt. He's not a Trump supporter, but he hates this country because he doesn't care what's good for this country. He cares about following every Republican talking point and voting point. And it doesn't matter if it's good for this country or not. They're going to vote for it because the Republicans say so. That's not patriotism. That is stupidity. That is a hate for this country where you put party needs above the people. That is a hate for this country. And we got to recognize it for what it is.
All right, Danita, thank you for the call.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
You too. That's Danita. She ain't playing no games. I appreciate it. Before we take another call, I just want to remind you that today's show is brought to you in part by our friends over at Renew Community Church. They offer a Sunday morning live stream, 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can tap in on Facebook and or YouTube. On Facebook, facebook.com/Cincy Renew. On YouTube, Renew Community Church live stream. This Sunday's topic: release your enemies and people that hurt you. Learn how to break free and love. If you're interested in downloading a free ebook and or signing up for personal or professional coaching, just go to their website, 3Ws.renewcommunitychurch.org. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Brother Nate, good morning.
What up, Daryl?
Good morning, brother. How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
I'm glad she called in, but let me deconstruct this real quick. First of all, Drop said one of the reasons gas prices is up for the Keystone XL gas pipeline, right?
That's what he
did
said.
say that, right?
He did say that.
Okay. So let's debunk this right now. Those are tar sand oil or whatever that is, which is more pollutive. So that's not going to help our climate, number one. Number two, that pipeline was going through indigenous people's land in America, but that gas, that fuel wouldn't have been ours anyway. It was Canada's. So what is he talking about? Again, the gaslighting. Then he talks about the gas prices. We know the president doesn't control that. That's, I guess it happens under the administration's watch, but he's like, well, when Trump was in office, well, guess what, Drop? When Obama was in office, and I got a photo to prove it, when Obama was in office, gas went to under $2. Remember that? For a short period of time. Remember that, Nate? Gas was real cheap. That was under
vaguely.
Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's up with that, Drop? Oh, but then it went back up under Trump. But Trump is so great. He's this, that, and the other. And Danita, he is a Trump supporter. So let me ask you this, because they've been busting him out on Twitter Spaces because he goes by Black Not Democrat. So Drop is from Detroit, right?
Originally, I don't know. Is he?
I think okay. Well, here's the point of the matter. He retired in California, yet he complains about Democratic policies living in a Democratic state controlled by a Democratic government with the highest taxes in the country. And he ain't trying to move out, and he brags about, oh, I ain't got to work. I ain't got no job because I'm retired. But he living in a blue state. What kind of sense does that make?
Right. If it's so
This
bad,
brother
why are
is
you
a
there?
boom. This brother's a living contradiction. And most of all, Nate, he talks about what is causing inflation. This inflation is global. This isn't just in America. This is happening all over the world. It has to do with supply chain issues. It's a myriad of things that's feeding into inflation. It's happening under Biden's watch. He has to figure out or craft a plan. Then he talked about the Similac. Well, that's controlled by 3 companies, Drop. These companies are price gouging, Drop. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't it a few years ago that gangster president put in these tax cuts for the wealthiest in the country? And what did they do with all that savings and less taxes? Did they give that to the employees? Did they increase wages? No, I think they didn't they go out and buy their own stock back? Isn't that what happened?
In some cases, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. So, Drop, what are you talking about? These companies have been the most profitable the last few years than at any point in history. And to talk about Biden, I mean, the unemployment rate is low, and people go into that. They try to skew the numbers. But, I mean, I think the biggest push in this country has been the fact that you're not appropriately taxing the wealthy. They're getting away with, heck, they asked for PPP loans, and they're still getting a tax break. And you know, and by not paying the money in, I mean, you heard Rick Scott, the proposal, if they get control, they're going to make the average Americans pay most of the tax bills for the country. They're going to increase our average people like us, they're going to increase our taxes. But the rich still keep the Trump tax cut. The Trump tax cut expired for everyday Americans. That was not permanent. For the rich, it's permanent. Understand that, people. I know y'all under the chops. I mean, Drop is so cynical. Like you said, he thinks black people are stupid. He is so cynical. That brother is he is so cynical. I mean, brothers like him need to check themselves. And he better not show up on Twitter Spaces, because I'm going to tell on you, Drop, and make sure everybody know. Because what he does is he goes into FBA and ADOS and all the FBM. I don't even know the name of the group. So he go in there and they talking their nonsense and they don't even make sense. And then that's what he uses as a platform to say, well, the Democrats, they ain't doing nothing, and black people are not happy and they're not going to vote. And what I'm saying is he's listening to a bunch of people that probably don't vote anyway. These people talking about reparations, not understanding there's a 6-3 conservative majority on the Supreme Court. So even if they got it passed, they try to turn it over in the Supreme Court. Man, y'all know he's gaslighting. Drop just likes to hear himself talk. Drop, ask yourself, if it's so bad in retirement out in California, why you still there, bruh? Playing all them taxes? Peace out, Nate.
Appreciate the call. And with that, family, I got to make a move. I know there were some folks that were trying to call in, but I got to make a move. So it's going to be a busy day, a busy Friday as we get ready for the weekend. And I hope you have an excellent weekend. All right. Take care of yourself. Do something for you this weekend. You deserve it. All right. I'll be back with you and hopefully better than ever on Monday morning. We'll chop it up on people, politics, and pleasure. Until next time, I'm Nate Ivey, and I'm out.